Veterans re-entering civilian life face many challenges, including finding a job. Hi, I'm MONTEL Williams, and welcome to this edition of Military Makeover Operation Career. Today we have 4 inspirational stories of former servicemen and women who have reinvented themselves and are thriving in companies that value their unique skills. Scientific Research Corporation has been leading the way in developing advanced electronics and information systems for the U.S. military for over 30 years. A key to their success? The veterans that they employ who understand the mission and how to best support our men and women still serving.
The major program that I support is in the Navy's P-8 force. They do a lot of anti-submarine warfare. They do a lot of sea surveillance.
My role is primarily to help secure the systems we're building against cyber threats and, insider threats.
We build primarily systems. We build communication systems, intelligence systems.
So who are Ron, Alicia, and Dan discussing? They're all working for SRC, the Scientific Research Corporation. Founded in 1988, SRC develops advanced electronics and information systems for the United States military.
Our adversaries are always trying to, collect data on us and, perhaps even interfere with things we're doing while protecting themselves. So we're really trying to ensure that we can protect ourselves from them.
But a deep sense of commitment to the safety of our military and patriotic pride in their own service is hard to miss.
So Alicia is one of our cybersecurity architects at the company, so she helps create an infrastructure for our systems that can protect the system from outside potential intruders. She's definitely one of the top cybersecurity person that we have here.
We have Navy fleet all over the world that are out there to try and protect us and do surveillance, so we want to ensure that we can get that done.
Over 40% of the SRC workforce has served in the military, which gives them a unique perspective on how best to serve and protect our warriors.
I commanded the USS Abraham Lincoln. I grew up around aircraft carriers. I started my Navy career flying off of them, and then I finished off my Navy career actually driving them. And as I was transitioning out of the service, I wanted what I did to matter to those young men and women who I just recently served with. And when I met SRC, it just totally aligned with what their desires were too and their aspirations. So I said, man, this is a place I can work.
What I really like about what I do is that after leaving the military, I'm still able to support the military. I primarily work supporting our Navy fleets, ensuring they can get their mission done. So ensuring their systems are up and secure from our adversaries is very important.
Our job is to make sure those systems work when the sailors need to use them. We provide training on how to best employ those systems and to make the most effective for the Navy's mission.
And supporting those who support our military is at the core of SRC's mission.
SRC is about the warfighter. And I think a lot of defense contractors out there will make that claim. This isn't a company that's just about saying we support, service members of our, Department of Defense. They, no kidding, meant it.
SRC definitely likes prior military. The skill sets are so easy, I think, to transition.
This is a company that is really concerned about those service members in uniform first and foremost. And that really resonated with me early on. And frankly, it was the reason I decided to join the company.
Farm stores have been helping communities across the United States with their signature double drive-through. Customers can get all the necessities they need, including fresh baked bread, in under 2 minutes. Their franchising opportunities make them the perfect business for transitioning veterans.
With locations in Florida, Pennsylvania, Texas, New Jersey, and more, Farm Stores is an all-in-one supermarket, bakery, and restaurant. Thanks to their franchising program, they're now expanding.
We're the creators of the double drive-through convenience store. So we have a long history in this business. Farm Stores is a time saver, so we focus on saving them time by selling them what they need so they can spend more time at home with their family.
Nick Palumbo joined the Navy in 2006 as a strategic sea lift officer and is still in the Naval Reserves. His dream has always been to be a successful business owner, one that gives back to the community.
So I've been in the Navy Reserve 14 years, and throughout those 14 years I've done short-term assignments and long-term assignments as well. And most recently I'm part of a unit that basically works on communication between naval vessels and merchant vessels. My skills that I've been able to develop because I'm in the Navy has been super helpful here, because it's small units, it's people focused, it's serving and in service, right?
I met with Nick and Shane, and we had a lot of camaraderie because Nick was in the Navy and still is, I believe, in the Coast Guard. And I spoke about my years in the Air Force when I was a young kid. Because of my experience in the retail business, I kind of tried to be a mentor to them, to help them with what I learned over the years.
Maurice Baird, the CEO of Farm Stores, understands how important it is to give our veterans tools for business success.
Part of what we've done is we've designed our franchise model for the veteran community and offer these opportunities through either forms of financing and discounts for them.
It gives a person an opportunity to own their own business and expand it, and there's no limit to how many stores they can have.
When I was looking for business opportunities or business ideas, one of my friends is in the gym franchise world. His first response back was farmstores.com, and that started my journey. Here we are 2 years later with our first store in Island Park. One of the things that I loved about Farm Stores from the beginning was they leave the last 20% up to you serving your community directly with what the wants and needs are. So when customers ask us for something specific, we can make it happen.
In the military, someone always has your back. So if you're looking to invest in a new business, consider Farm Stores. With connections all over the country, they can set you up for success.
We take it from A to Z, and we hold their hand through the process. And once they're done, they use their skill set, their training that they learned in the military, and apply it to this type of business. And it's a very natural process.
Whenever I get involved with a company, I like to learn all about the company. And I spent a lot of time with Maurice learning about his company and his operation. And I was responsible to open up the first 2 stores in Long Island.
It's been a team process the whole way through. Along the way, the company has been super helpful, which is helping with vendors, helping with negotiations with vendors, and guidance along the way has been critical. So, which is one of the nicest things about joining a franchise, is that you have that support and you have that team. And they've fulfilled that every step of the way.
Customer loyalty, brand recognition, quality, and convenience are their trademarks, something veterans can understand all too well.
The thing I like most about this job and actually doing it is being able to serve the community. So in the Navy Reserve, I get to serve the country, and here opening a Farm Stores, it's such a community focus and way to serve. You serve your country in uniform, you could serve your community by running a drive-thru. So you get to see face-to-face the people you're helping, which is an enjoyable experience.
Our history has always been about the family, and we continue to do so. Now we're using technologies to make ourselves a little bit more efficient, but we sell hot bread to the door of your car. That doesn't exist anywhere else. And we've leveraged our technology and our knowledge of the community to be able to do that in a very efficient way.
For more than 60 years, Bechtel Plant Machinery has been on the forefront of nuclear power plant technology. Their products can be found on all United States Navy nuclear submarines and surface ships.
Since 1956, BPMI's employees have supported our nation's fleet and sailors in various aspects of the design, development, and continuing support of naval nuclear propulsion equipment. As a prime contractor for the U.S. Navy, the company hires engineers of various disciplines, as well as business, logistics, security, and IT professionals. BPMI's role in the Naval Nuclear Propulsion Program makes them a natural fit for active and veteran servicemen and women, as the critical work performed at BPMI in support of our nation's defense provides a continuing sense of purpose. Meet Matthew Auckman, former U.S. Army who started working at BPMI 5 years ago. He loves being able to make a difference.
My senior year, I was in my second period English class when the Twin Towers were hit. I had an overwhelming sense of duty to serve my country from that point on. I actually went to college first, and then once I graduated, I commissioned as a transportation officer in the United States Army. Whenever you're transitioning into the military, it's pretty scary. And then when you're transitioning out of the military, it's pretty scary because you have this sense of unknown. You don't know what's going to happen next. The thing I liked best about BPMI is that they're service to the Navy, and I felt like I could still serve the military, still serve this country in a civilian format, in the civilian capacity. BPMI really cares about a work-life balance. You're able to do different activities outside of here. That really helps to know that you're with an organization that you know they want to do the best for their employees.
Mordecai Huber works in the Instrumentation and Control Department at BPMI. It's his job to make sure all products leaving the facility are quality pieces.
Shortly after the start of the Iraqi War, I served 5 years active duty, followed by 3 years in the reserves. My job was in what they call an intermediate maintenance unit, so I was basically a troubleshooter and a maintainer of electronics equipment. After I got out of the military, I went ahead and got my degree. I started in BPMI in 2013, and I'm an electrical engineer, so pretty much I took what I did in the military, kind of amplified that using the GI Bill, and now I'm an engineer. We work on electronics equipment that's required to keep the plant up and running on the carriers. I know that the assistance that I provide and the guidance that I give actually impacts how that equipment is actually being used out there in the real world.
BPMI's HR manager, Laura Swinchock, understands the importance of hiring veterans.
I think at BPMI what really makes us unique is that we support the Naval Nuclear Propulsion Program. We support the Navy's fleet and its sailors, and we also in turn support the national defense of this country. And when it comes to our recruiting programs, we like to attend veteran-only career fairs. It's a really great way to connect with a large volume of both active and transitioning service members. And we find that at BPMI, a lot of our positions are a great match for those service members' skill sets. When I think of both Matt and Mordecai and their service backgrounds, I think of our core values: integrity, excellence, commitment, teamwork. And by and large, those are the same characteristics and attributes that we see of our military service members that translate very easily into our work environment.
With more than 1,000 employees, including those who've served our country, BPMI will continue to help the Navy protect our homeland.
I think the number one selling point for BPMI is our mission and the connection that veterans can still have to serving their country, but in a civilian capacity. And they can do that really well here at BPMI.
It helps to do your job knowing that the people that you're serving there, you were that person at one point wearing the uniform.
You have the basic troubleshooting philosophy down from your time in the service, so you have an opportunity to come here and make a difference really from day one.
For our next story, meet assisted live-in facility owner and proud veteran David Karasz. David was in need of financial support when a fellow veteran at his organization answered his call. They took a chance of fulfilling the American dream and a new approach to care for the elderly.
David, we're going to start off with this letter that John wrote to you from Ready Capital, so if you could just read it out loud.
Dear David,
as a veteran myself, I've always found it hard to ask others for help.
When you reached out to me directly in 2016, looking for capital to expand your business,
it was not just a job for me. It became a mission to help you and your wife fulfill the American dream.
From our first conversation, I felt a brotherhood and bond. There was no question.
I wanted to be part of the history of loving home for Mom and Dad. David, your story is an inspiration for us all. Thank you for your service to our great country. Thank you for continuing to provide hope to the hopeless.
And thank you for allowing myself and Ready Capital an opportunity to be a valued partner.
Ready Capital is the largest non-bank lender to small businesses and investors in small balance commercial properties. We're the only firm that has focused on this niche in this space since the recession.
I wrote this letter a few weeks ago to David Karasz. When David called me back in 2016 and talked to me about loving care for Mom and Dad, I thought just another assisted living facility. What David kind of described was kind of a new approach to the care of the elderly.
I had a tendency to look at a person who is disabled as perhaps someone a little bit less than a complete person. Those ideas changed when I myself was unable to walk. The rehabilitation process in which I experienced tremendous pain, I now have become a different person, a more compassionate person. And it's helped me crystallize my next phase of life should be, and that is in trying to help some of these people who don't have a home, who are medically homeless, who suffer from many of the same things that I've experienced.
Well, our strategic view is to become the largest non-bank lender to small businesses and investors in small balance commercial properties.
Here at Ready Capital, we provide financing to small business owners, entrepreneurs, and veteran-owned businesses. David and his wife, Mia, just happen to fit all three of those key categories. When David called me, it was, he was just trying to figure out how do I get there? How do I get from point A to point B? It's not a traditional lending process.
We said, who's going to finance on this? How are we going to go ahead and meet our goal here? How are we going to handle this? Ready Capital came to our aid. I met John Mosher. I spoke with him and told him what we were doing, told him what we were about. They stepped up to the plate.
What was really cool is that we were able to kind of walk David through the process and kind of understand what their motivation was and where their sense of purpose was in trying to find a solution for them.
They took a chance on a new model for the retired disabled vet to go ahead and put together the financing that was critical. So word got out that these homes were here and they were so successful. Ready Capital made this possible.
Ready Capital is a growing business, and we want to help out growing businesses.
Great to see that after sacrificing so much during military service, today's veterans were able to shine at these outstanding companies. I'm MONTEL. Thanks so much for joining us on this episode of Military Makeover Operation Career. We'll see you next time.